Hello, it's Tom Donald from the London Contemporary School of Piano. Today we're going to learn how to play the blues like Keith Jarrett. Yes, like the legend himself. We're going to be looking at a wonderful Keith Jarrett encore he did in the Paris concert from his album, The Paris Concert, which was a concert in Paris. He gave a long improvisation, goes for about 40 minutes, and then he gave a beautiful encore of some wonderful blues playing. We're going to look at what he's doing. And the great news is there's no heavy theory at all in this. We're in a theory-free zone right now. This is going to be hands-on, playing with your fingers, playing with your body, feeling the music. We're going to get into the Keith Jarrett mindset. I can't wait to show it to you. So, if you're a fan of our work at the London Contemporary School of Piano, by the way, you should head on over to our website, contemporaryschoolofpiano.com, and ask for our free resources kit, which accompanies all of these videos. It's got some great content in there just to help you bring your practice to life. So let's get started with the Keith Jarrett blues. So this is the left hand, and that's the great thing about Keith Jarrett's playing. If there's one simple thing he does extremely well, is he plays an ostinato, a riff, a repetitive rhythmic pattern in the left hand. He can keep that going at a consistent tempo for ages. And he somehow has this ability to be able to play completely freely in the right hand while that's going on. A lot of the time when he's playing, there's no complex theory going on in the music. It could just be one scale he's sitting on for ages, or two scales. But it's that ability to just hold an ostinato in the left hand and play freely in the right hand. And that's quite difficult if you think about it, training your left hand to keep the time, to keep the groove, and have your right hand just freely sing over the top of that is quite a difficult thing. It's a little bit like, head and the rubbing the tummy thing. And the thing is, I've noticed in my years of teaching and observing jazz pianists and students, is we don't talk about that issue. We sort of, let's just leave that aside. Let's focus on theory instead. It's a nice distraction. Let's focus on understanding these extended voicings and all this clever stuff. And this simple, extremely important skill is like brushed aside. And it's the Keith Jarretts of the world that master this skill very quietly. He doesn't make a big deal that he did it. He just does it. And if we all just spent time working on this skill, you can do so much more with your playing. So this is exciting. So let's just learn this ostinato in the left hand. I'm going to show you some steps on how to get there, to get better at this, improve at it, because it's not easy. It's a simple thing, and it's the simple things that are often the hardest to do. So let's just play this wonderful left hand pattern. Let me show it to you. So I've just applied that to a 12-bar blues. And so what's the pattern? The pattern has been built on dominant 7 chords, and the notes end up being C, G, B flat, C, 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 G, C, B flat, C, top C twice. I'm using my thumb twice, you can see, on that B flat to the C. So we might just want to sit on this C7 for a period of time. And yes, this is a bit boring to do, just sitting on the same ostinato for a long time. Some people, you'll get impatient, but this is what you have to do to build these skills. You just have to sit there and practice the ostinato. I'm sure the Keith Jarretts of the world have spent hours and hours doing this. You won't know about it. It's what they do in their private practice. This is what we need to do. We need to program our body to play and feel. Yes, feel these things. We feel it in our body. We feel it in the emotions of the music. experiment with accenting different notes from the sequence. And you have to repeat. This repetition is your friend. You repeat it, you feel it, you learn it, you absorb it. Now, the more I do this in the left hand, I'm not even worried about playing the 12-bar blues yet. The more I do this in the left hand, I'm also going to be careful I'm not getting faster. There's a good chance I am getting faster. It's a mistake we all can still make. It's a mistake I still make today. So I might just pull it back a bit now. Now in the right hand, all I'm going to do is improvise on two notes, C and E flat. I'm going to keep it really simple. For many of you, when you add that right hand for the first time, things will fall apart. That's totally normal, by the way. So don't beat yourself up about that. One thing you can practice to help that is just play a long note. Just start with something simple. I call it putting a footprint in the snow. It's just, you've got this big snow field. There's nothing there. It's just completely fresh snow, and you're just putting one footprint in the snow. That's it. Nothing else. Keep it simple. Focus on that repetition of the left hand. Now we got the E flat. Again, just that's a second footprint. So that's a starting point. For many of you, that would be a practice session, right? You could just sit there and do that for as long as you possibly can. Try and set the stopwatch. Try and do it for 10 minutes without stopping. Which is only 10 minutes, it's not long. But when you first try this, it will feel like a lifetime, 10 minutes. Sitting there and doing that for 10 minutes will feel like ages because you haven't built up the endurance yet. The mental endurance, the physical endurance. That's what a lot of this is all about. That's why we're in a theory-free zone today, because theory can't help you with this stuff. Sorry theory. Not much use right now. You know all the theory in the world and still not know how to play a note. You've got to put those footprints in the snow. Okay, let's add the third note of the blues scale. We're going to move along. Some of you just need to stop the video now and just go straight to the piano and just start with this, but for the constraints of time, I need to move on to the next step. So, we've got the third note of the blues scale. It's amazing how satisfying just those three notes are. It's incredible, really. I quite like squeezing notes together. Keep that left hand in check. Make sure I'm not getting faster. Okay, fourth note. I'm going to add the F sharp. Fifth note, G. Then the B flat. And we've completed the C minor blues scale. You can even practice ascending and descending the scale with the same rhythm as the left hand. Easier said than done, actually. It's not. Still takes a bit of coordination to get used to these things. Many of you still will be putting footprints in the snow, you know. So I'm now going to bring back the 12-bar blues in the left hand. That entire sequence of the 12-bar blues, which is, the 4 bars of C, the 2 bars of F, and so on. Let's play this 12-bar blues now in the left hand. That means when I get to the chord 4, the F, I continue that dominant 7 pattern. Back to the C now. So the G7 is this. So again, it's based on the dominant 7. The F, down the C. So let's just walk through that 12-bar blues. What's the 12-bar blues? C. We do that for 4 bars. Then we go to the F. We do that for 2 bars. Then back to the C. Then to the G for 1 bar. 1 bar of the F, then back to the C. Okay. Now I'm going to put the C minor blues over that. I don't have to change scale at all. Just that scale will suffice. It's an umbrella scale that fits the whole progression. That's all Keith Jarrett is really doing in this Paris encore. I mean, he's doing it with phenomenal, superb execution. The theory doesn't go beyond that at all. So there's the nuts and the bolts of what Jarrett is doing in that Paris encore. But he's following a few, perhaps, artistic guidelines of his own. These are just observations of what his style of playing is. I notice pretty much with when he plays in this way, he's not vamping out chords, which you could do. It sounds really good. But he just chooses not to do that. So vamping out chords is where you... Great for a compliment. It's also great to just fill up the sound. But he chooses not to do that. All of the playing is more single note oriented within the minor blues scale. He's really heavily focusing on the minor blues scale. Just a bit faster now. So both hands are operating very independently of each other. And that's what the difficulty is. But I don't want to just go straight to the fast version. And Keith Jarrett has done this particular type of blues in other concerts where he's gone even faster. But on the Paris concert, it's a bit slower than that, and it's a great exercise. It's also good to combine notes in that right-hand blues scale. If you need more guidance, by the way, with your blues playing, your piano playing in general, you should seriously consider our complete musician program. It is an accumulation of my lifelong research and development in piano, 21st century piano education. We have a blues module in the course, which is extremely powerful, as well as a classical module, pop music module. And it's a lifelong resource where you can study, a structured lifelong resource where you have lifelong access to the material to help really improve and structure your piano practice. Far more than just a bunch of YouTube videos can possibly achieve. And I hope you've had a great time today jamming with me. I look forward to speaking with you soon. Bye-bye.